Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to this feminine platform at The New Feminine, and welcome back to this channel. And I hope that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I am wishing you all a happy holiday. And of course, if you are new here, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. So I wanted to share my thoughts and my perspective on what has become a viper's nest of opinions, and that is the topic of women who don't fit a certain aesthetic, who are being publicly loved on, or who are getting engaged, or who are getting married, or who are having families, and who are having whatever it is considered to be their version of happily ever after. And I wanted to unpack a lot of all of this talk, and a lot of it is negative, about the beautiful CORI Broaddus and her now fiance Wayne Deuce. Now, for a bit of house cleaning, if you are emotionally unhinged or tormented or triggered by these kinds of womanhood conversations, go on ahead and log out. Also, this is a femininity-based channel, so as a word of caution, some feathers may be ruffled by the feminine perspective that will be expressed in this video. Now, in CORI's particular case, there is a radioactive hornet's nest of triggers that do seem to come from several factors, mainly her weight, the backhanded comments about her level of beauty, even though beauty is typically in the eye of the beholder, who her father is, and her fiance's colorist stupidity, and the very evident lack of his own bag, and because she is darker toned, BBW'd, and full of figured. But if you haven't heard by now, Snoop Dogg's daughter, CORI Broaddus, who is 23, and her now fiance Wayne Deuce, who is either 24 or 25, most recently got engaged over the Thanksgiving Day holiday, and messy internet feelings and diatribes were all over the place, and the I'm hurt and I'm offended feelings were triggered everywhere, and everyone and their mother had an opinion or expressed some kind of concern and performative concern about this engagement. And predictably, most of the opinions were very toxic, negative, hostile, unkind, very judgmental, and very, very ugly. And we all know that the internet can be such a cruel, dissect and pick your life apart place. So I am pretty sure that both CORI and Wayne on some level were prepared for the kind of negative, mostly mixed reaction to their public announcement about their engagement, as their relationship has always been viewed with a high amount of scrutiny and side-eye disbelief, with a very strong narrative of why would he want to be with her. Now, my first inclination as a feminine woman when it comes to engagement announcements in general is to mind the married hypergamous business that pays me by saying congratulations to couples and to keep it pushing. And this reaction for me is also applied to both CORI and Wayne, in particular, because they're going to need it. Marriages, and I discuss this a lot in my private group, The New Feminine, need support. Young couples need support, and they need healthy family systems and healthy family dynamics to thrive, and they need encouragement on how to navigate the pitfalls that are sure to come with being a young husband and a wife. And in their particular case, they are going to need a lot of family support because unfortunately, the internets are going to do everything within their petty power to destroy the public dynamics of this relationship just based on the optics of CORI's looks and on Wayne's obvious lack of a bag alone. And also because getting engaged, and I've had several women in my New Feminine group get engaged, and for those of you who are out there who have been proposed to, and I myself went through the same thing when I got engaged. But getting engaged, no matter what you look like, triggers women, period. In fact, the responses to your potential wedded bliss are always going to be hot and cold and are always going to be mixed, as getting engaged represents a very coveted and a very desirable milestone in many women's lives. But not all women are going to receive a proposal. So yes, jealousy and envy can and will be activated. And my best feminine advice as a married woman to CORI when it comes to her engagement is to never allow too many opinions and to certainly never allow the often unhinged court of public opinion to make the final cut pro decision on your personal life. Because simply put, you simply cannot please everybody. And that is a message that I have been teaching on this channel from the jump, because as a woman and as a friendly feminine reminder, it is not your job and it will never be your job to make everyone happy. It is simply impossible. And it will never be your job to be a people pleaser, because being a people pleaser destroys your peace and it destroys your confidence, and it gives unqualified people and the wannabe perfect patties the permission to pull rank on you, and it allows people to treat you like a puppet on a string. So from a feminine point of view, I highly recommend to women that they learn how to trust their own guts and that they learn how to rely upon their own instincts and their own intuition, as opposed to constantly believing that you need to check in with others when it comes to your own personal life decisions. Now, marriage, love, and money are already very deeply personal and in many ways are very sacred energies. So a woman has to safeguard and she has to protect her peace when it comes to the very triggering opinions from those who are on the outside looking in. But unfortunately for CORI, like most daughters who have successful fathers, think Sanaa Lathan and Tracy Ellis Ross and Yaya Mayweather and Reginae and Rashida Jones, CORI is in a very difficult position because she isn't naturally going to be looking for hypergamy because she already has her daddy's money and she's already in a financial bracket that most, dare I say, black women will never see just based on the strength of who her father is. She is the daughter of one of the most visibly iconic, successful rappers and entrepreneurs in the world, and she also happens to be both beautifully darker toned and she has a life-threatening disease called lupus, which in many ways does crystallize the urgency of having romantic love in her life while she's still here on earth, just like Father Abraham, Nick Cannon. So women who look like her are going to receive a lot of backhanded compliments because according to the internets, technically, women like CORI are never supposed to win at love with a so-called good-looking guy. And her happiness or her good news will trigger insecurities in both men and women who feel like her looks aren't up to par, as if looks are the only qualifier for a man wanting you to be his wife. Now, let's get into it from a hypergamous perspective. I also understand how Dusty Wayne is being skeptically viewed, and rightfully so. He is being viewed as a social climbing, bottom of the barrel prospect who is only in it for the come up of marrying into the Snoop Dogg legacy. And before you marathon sprint to the comments, I am fully aware that Wayne is also very much guilty of tweeting out back in 2014 very problematic statements in the past about dark-skinned women and about Beyonce's daughter, Blue Ivy, being unattractive. And for context purposes, because context is necessary, Wayne made those tweets around the age of 17, which overall makes his character appear very shady, very dubious, and very untrustworthy. But I am 100% sure that CORI is fully aware of those tweets. But the question now remains, will she marry this man while knowing that these ugly, damaging tweets are out there? But for maturity purposes and from a feminine point of view, I do think that it would be very healthy and very emotionally intelligent for Mr. Wayne to publicly apologize for his open disrespect and to publicly apologize for his hurtful ignorance, his self-hate, and his stupidity, simply for the fact that his future wife-to-be, if this marriage does happen, his future wife-to-be does in fact fit the mold of what he once publicly devalued and criticized. And a grown man and a soon-to-be husband and possible father should always know how to make amends. But with that being said, and you can go argue with your itchy lace fronts, but I do want to point out, and in all fairness, that there is a difference between someone tweeting out something last week or even last year and a person tweeting out something 7 to 8 years ago. So only CORI could ever truly know her fiance's heart, and she will also have to use her discernment. But CORI also has to understand that the internets will never forget, and that the internets overall will never stop the practice of reheating cold french fries. But it does beg the question, because old tweets that come back to haunt people are a nasty scenario that keeps happening over and over and over and over again. But to my feminine ladies who are tuning in, do people deserve the benefit of the doubt when it comes to dumb old tweets that are made in poor judgment or out of self-hate or out of immaturity? Are people allowed to grow, to mature, and to evolve from who they used to be? Or should people be forever defined by their low moments of self-hatred or their stupidity or their immaturity? Comment below. Now, all in all, these two do seem to love each other, and CORI is deserving of love no matter what she looks like. She's beautiful, by the way. And as long as she has Dusty Wayne sign an ironclad prenup, because I am all about women protecting their hypergamous bag, whether earned or inherited. So as long as a prenup is in place, I say let the chips fall where they may. She has lupus, she deserves love, and allow these two to love on each other. And hopefully Snoop D-O-double-G will be teaching his future son-in-law Wayne how to get a bag. Because as a husband, Snoop is everywhere. He's even on your driver's license because that man knows how to stay with a bag. And if Sir Wayne Deuce truly has ulterior motives, it will be revealed in time, like all things. Or CORI at her young age will eventually outgrow him and see him for the bum husband or for the opportunist that he truly is. Because at this point in time, and from my hypergamous observation, he certainly gives off struggle love, cute, dusty, come up vibes. But he is still young, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. I hate repeating myself, but CORI and women who look like her deserve to be happy, and they deserve to be publicly loved on when they are being truly loved for who they are. And it shouldn't be up for discussion, debate, or up for a zillion and one think pieces. But unfortunately, with money, fame, and visibility, this is what will come with the territory. But to get this conversation started, should men who devalue women based on their skin tone ever be forgiven? Is Wayne only with CORI because of who her daddy is? Do dark-skinned women only deserve love when their faces are a 9 and their waist size is 23 inches? And why do engagements or a woman announcing that she's getting married at any age trigger so many complicated feelings, especially when BBW women are publicly being loved on? And as always, thank you for watching and thank you for listening. And stay tuned for more case study videos to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.